Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Talents Fight Club with Eli and James.
Let's go.
Got another fire episode for you guys, going over a lot of big news, big fight announcements, recapping great
Topuria
fight night.
versus Emmett,
yeah, great fight night this last weekend. So, yeah, let's get into it. We kind of did a little prediction video last episode. You know, that'll be out soon. But I think we both had Ilya, right, in this one?
We both took Ilya Topuria to win this fight. I mean, the man's undefeated for a reason, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the biggest shock to me, I really thought Emmett was going to get finished in this fight. But, man, he's really tough.
Oh, dude, really tough as bricks. Yeah. I mean, I was even saying they should have thrown in the towel, but, you know, shame on me because Josh Emmett was fighting back to the best of his ability for all 5 rounds. I mean, and he even caught Topuria a couple of times, but Topuria had just done too much.
Yeah. What was the final scorecard? 50-43, I think it was.
Yeah. Let me look those up. I was just looking at the stats right there.
I think he was like one of the 3 fighters or 4 in UFC history to get a scorecard like that.
Yeah.
I mean, performance. Yeah.
Almost doubled his output on significant strikes, 152 to 87.
Yeah. I think there was like a 10-7 round even in there too. But yeah, it was a really amazing performance for Ilya Topuria. You know, we kind of, coming in, we knew that he was a bright prospect. I think that this division is ripe and ready for him to, take over. There's a lot of good matchups I think that we could put him with for sure.
Right.
So
I think you're jumping the gun a little bit on
ripe
and ready to take over.
Okay.
I mean, there's still
let's talk about some matchups.
There's still a slew of fighters in front of Topuria, including the champion who's slated to fight next weekend. Alexander Volkanovski fighting the interim champion Yair Rodriguez. Then you've got Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, Arnold Allen. Don't get me wrong. I think Topuria can contend with those guys for sure, especially after what we've seen, what he just did to Josh Emmett. But to say that the division is ripe and ready for him to take over.
I mean, maybe
okay.
Maybe I might be a little delusional. I'm sipping on that Ilya Topuria Kool-Aid for sure.
Well, okay. You know what? While I'm looking up the scorecards, why don't you tell me what you think about a potential matchup between Topuria and let's just start with Volkanovski. Let's assume the champ retains and. Let me know what you think. Let's assume Charles and Islam happen in Abu Dhabi again.
Yep.
And we get Volk versus Topuria. How's that go?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just some of the boxing combinations and just the way that I feel like Topuria's defense has really shown in this fight. I think it could really work against Volk, but I don't think Ilya's ever fought someone with the timing that Volk has and like how Volk sets up feints. I mean, he fought Emmett, which Emmett like telegraphs a lot of his shots, especially in this fight. Like he wasn't setting up any of his big overhands. That's his signature punch usually. But no, I think there's some areas where Topuria could succeed with Volk. I don't think it would be like a full sweep, but I think that he could definitely have a good chance against Volk. How do you see that fight going down?
I think we look at what Volkanovski has done to fighters like. Let's start from, in my opinion, and I know I'm repping the shirt today, but let's just start from, let's look at his title defenses, right? Yeah. Let's also look at the fact that he was rocked by Chad Mendes, and he was in trouble in that fight, but he still rallied and win and came back and finished Mendes. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the Jose Aldo fight where Volkanovski just put it on him. You know, I mean, how great of a striker is Jose Aldo?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, top notch.
So then let's go Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie. I mean, Korean Zombie will take it as long as you can give it, and he'll give it right back to you the best he can, right? Volkanovski absolutely made him look silly. Yeah. It was horrible.
Yeah, and definitely thinking about it, too, like Volkanovski's volume, especially in that fight, he really overpowered him with that. And then Topuria, he had good volume in this last fight with Emmett, but it wasn't as much.
It wasn't high pace.
It wasn't high pace like you see out of like a Max Holloway fight or out of a Volkanovski fight.
Right, and so that's kind of what I'm alluding to. So then let's look at Brian Ortega. You know what I mean? And let's look at that Volk fight. I mean, Ortega had his moments, especially with the submissions, and he pieced Volk up a little bit, because Volk likes to come in a lot. Volk likes to move forward. Mm-hmm. But, Volk is what? How tall is he? Like 5'6"? 5'7", something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Let's say 5'8". I don't know. I really don't know. But, he's got a 71.5-inch reach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right there. He's got a bigger reach than Max Holloway. You look at his reach going into the Rodriguez fight. Max and Rodriguez at least have the height on him.
Right, yep.
But, and don't get me wrong, I don't think Topuria is slow by any means. But you look at Volk is so good he can keep up with Max Holloway's pace and Islam's strength.
Yeah.
What is he going to do to Ilya Topuria? He's going to have that reach advantage. He's going to have that pace advantage. He's got the experience advantage. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I wouldn't tune into that fight. I mean, you'll get all my pay-per-view dollars for that fight. But I think Volk would remind everybody why he's the featherweight champion, and he would do it handily.
Gotcha.
I'd like to see Topuria. I think we discussed it before. You even had mentioned it to me, Arnold Allen.
Yeah.
And you had sent that we were just going back and forth over the phone. And I went crazy over that fight because I think that is a great matchup. If Topuria can prove it against somebody like Arnold Allen, even a Brian Ortega, I'm all for it. But if they give him the title fight next, I think Volkanovski retains.
Yeah. I would love that fight with Arnold Allen. I think it makes sense. I think they might slide in a London card maybe later in the year. I know they already got one booked for Tybura and Aspinall. But Allen's one of these fighters he fights, maybe once. Be lucky to see him fight twice a year, I think.
He had a win streak, but not very active.
And and he had a really good fight with Max. It was so he's definitely recovering from that. And I think that both these guys might be primed to fight maybe in December, something like that. I think that'd be good for both Arnold Allen and Topuria. Good points there with with Volk and there's a lot of interesting fights though for Topuria, I think.
Let's real quick before we move off this topic, and we can just kind of knock it out real quick. Yeah. Let's play devil's advocate here and say Rodriguez gets it done. El Pantera becomes the new undisputed featherweight champion.
And guys, I think I might be playing the devil's advocate next Saturday.
That's a hell of a possibility. I mean, you look at Rodriguez got pieced up by Korean Zombie. He was losing that fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was giving it back to him, but he was not gonna win that decision until he knocked him out with that crazy elbow with 1 second left. So, I mean, Yair is one of those guys who's always in the fight. As long as there's time on the clock, he's in the fight.
Yeah, but at the same time, dude, it's so funny because as much as we, say this about, Rodriguez could do this, because I genuinely think that Rodriguez has a really good chance at beating Volk, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Volk just comes out and just beats the shit out of him for 5 rounds. And I'm excited for the fight. Good movement going on in this division. I'm really excited. We got Max and Korean Zombie coming up too. We talked about that a little bit in the last pod.
Featherweight's getting a little crazy right now. It's getting back to business and reminding people that featherweight's just as stacked as a division north or south of it.
Yeah. So good stuff coming out of featherweight. So next one, Hamzat. He's always kind of been in the news here and there.
He's been a little quiet. It makes me feel like they got something brewing for him for October.
Yeah. I know that, I think they just declared that he was on a no-fly list for the U.S., so I think fighting in the U.S. is kind of not an option right now. So
I am sad that he's not going to be fighting Rachmanov.
Oh,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And, probably Abu Dhabi card, but matchmaking, they had Paulo Costa kind of lined up for him for a little bit. That kind of fell through. Usman put his name in the hat. That kind of fell through a little bit now. We're kind of not hearing too much, so... I think a good thing to talk about, right now is just who do we want to see Hamzat fight? I think it's going to be middleweight. Do you think it'll be middleweight, or do you think it's going to be welterweight?
I think Hamzat will fight at welterweight next. I think it'll be Usman, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But let me throw a little wild card in there. Let me get a little crazy with it. I'm going to say that Edwards finds a way to get Hamzat and be on that card instead of fighting Colby Covington.
My gosh.
Dana's foaming at the mouth. He's like, fine.
The only thing crazier I could think is if UFC strips Leon and then they do Colby versus Hamzat in Abu Dhabi or something like that. But I don't think Colby would right with that.
That would, no. But I don't even want to.
Yeah, could you imagine? Maybe that will, because I know Colby's really, Dana's pretty rock hard to get Colby in there for the title shot. But I wonder if it would change his mind if Leon said hey, just give me Hamzat. Colby's
being too quiet in the media for him to be getting a title fight anytime soon. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's really just kind of fading into. I mean, I don't know what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I don't know. Welterweight's a weird, at least in the championship picture, it's in a weird state right now. Because who is deserving of a title fight? You can't do Usman again.
Yeah.
Usman has to go and win 1 or 2. So what do you do? I mean, they said Colby, but Rachmanov's scheduled. You know what I mean? So who else is streaking at welterweight that we can throw in there in the title fight?
Man, dude, yeah, it's hard to say for sure. Bilal.
Could throw Bilal in there.
Maybe they do Bilal versus Hamzat at
In Abu Dhabi?
in Abu Dhabi. Maybe, I don't know if Bilal can make that a date. It'd be cool.
He
if
could make that date. I don't think he got hurt in the Gilbert fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did I forget about Bilal?
Dude,
remember the name.
Yeah, remember the name. Bro.
I know. What am I
you
doing? What am I doing? I'm sorry, Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, that would be great.
That might be a good one. You know, Bilal said he's been adamant in the past. He's not scared to fight Hamzat. So I think that might be a good one.
Well, dude, you know they got to stack that card. They're gonna make that card.
Do they
juicy.
even have a headliner?
It's gonna be
Islam.
Oliveira. There's
Islam
no
and
way.
Oliveira.
Yeah, Islam and Oliveira, unless Volk like literally starts his Yair in the first
And
round.
then he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. But if Volk doesn't come out unscathed with, I did predict Volk to beat Yair, but his little short ass is, Yair's gonna be getting them head kicks right up there. I was thinking about it right now.
I know. I've been saying it, dude. Yair's a bad boy, man. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
What about middleweight for Hamzat? I feel like Hamzat in middleweight, it's harder to make a matchup for him. I don't know.
I feel like the Pereira fight would have been there. Let's just throw two monsters in the cage and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I feel like all the fights for him right now are kind of booked up. I mean, I guess you could do Cannonier, but that's not. I feel like that's not fair to Cannonier.
But Cannonier wants the fight though.
Not really. He was saying if they tell me that's my shot to the title, then that's my shot to the title.
That's right,
That's what he was saying. At least that's how I perceived
Make it happen, dude. I would like that fight, Cannonier versus Hamzat. I think
Hamzat stays at welterweight. I think that's where he's done most of his work. He did have that one scare, but I think they get it done.
Gotcha. Yeah, hopefully they get a fight scheduled for him soon, man. But yeah,
Leon versus Hamzat. I'm calling it.
Leon
they're
versus
gonna
Hamzat?
they're gonna have to make that card juicy, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, what else are they gonna do? Even most of their star power over there for that region of the world is booked right now.
Yeah.
Outside of Islam, Hamzat, Shavkhat just got booked.
Umar has a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one, man. I like that one too. So yeah, hopefully that fight gets booked, man. We'd be the Mystic Max over here.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, going to
Mac ain't never coming back.
But yeah, going back to the middleweight division, we have we're back at welterweight because I saw Gastelum's name.
We're staying in welterweight. It's okay.
Staying in welterweight. Gastelum making the cut down finally to 170, kind of something we've been asking for a long time because, he's always looked really big at middleweight. And, so finally making that cut down to welterweight against Shavkhat Rachmanov.
I don't like it for Kelvin, man.
Man, this is a good one. But I feel like Kelvin always had
decent
decent
100%
wrestling.
Finish rate. We just rewatched Shavkhat versus Jeff Neal last weekend, dude. And Jeff Neal was cracking him in that third round.
But what was has Gastelum been finished fighting in the UFC? I don't think so.
Yeah.
He has been?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Chris Weidman.
Oh, I think that was before I even started watching.
No. Weidman was on a down streak, and it was after Yoel knocked out Weidman with the knee. I think his next fight was Gastelum, and he just he cut him in, I think it was like a arm triangle or something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then he also lost to Jack Hermanson.
That's right.
Yep, that's another one.
At the fucking angle lock.
Yeah, that one was sad, dude, because I was so hyped, and then it just happened. But I think this is an interesting fight, dude. You think Shavkat's is going to run away with it?
He has 100% finishing rate.
I know. Yeah.
And Kelvin's making the first cut back to 170. He fought T-Wood maybe? I don't know. It's been a minute.
Yeah. This is a tough fight for Gastelum to be, welcome back to the division. I know both guys were calling for this fight, though. But, last week we sat down and we rewatched Jeff Neal and Shavkhat.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what a fight that was. And then
he hit the big brother choke on him. Yeah, man. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was a great fight. Shavkat's he's a beast, man. And don't get me wrong, Kelvin Gastelum's got that one-hitter quitter. He could put him out. But I don't. With the shots Jeff Neal was landing and the way Rachmanov was just kept slipping and answering and slipping and answering.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Kelvin can do it.
Yeah. The one phrase I like that John Anik used when he was announcing the fight between Rachmanov and Jeff Neal, is how like Rachmanov has this like calm presence outside of the cage, and then as soon as he gets in there, dude, he like switches and like he turns into a killer, man. Because he's like a nice guy, he's a super nice guy on the outside of the cage, and dude, he's so scary, man. When he's in there.
He's like an angry big brother, bro.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good fight. I think it's one that the fans are going to be really excited about. I forget. I know what card they're putting it on.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go right into it.
Let's
go ahead. Take us into it.
But yeah, flyweight women's championship announced. Alexa Grasso going to be rematching Valentina Shevchenko
on Mexican Independence Day, and that'll be free on ESPN Plus. Thank you, Dana, at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
So yeah, that's a good one right there, guys. We already knew this fight was going to happen for sure.
You have to get the rubber match.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's going to be a good fight. Alexa Grasso's boxing has always been, on par. It's always been a strong suit, and then her grappling in the last match, her quickness to, get to the back of Valentina and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe Valentina had an off night, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
This is one of those things that's wow, that was horrible. This is one of those things that's kind of crazy for me. When Weidman lost the belt to Rockhold, when he tried to do that stupid kick and turned around and got caught, I thought for sure, because Weidman was doing pretty well up to that point, I thought for sure Weidman would come back and beat him in the rematch, just, where he was at in the middleweight division at that point in time. Mm-hmm. And the time came, and I believe Weidman had to pull out, so we threw in Bisping, and Bisping knocked out Rockhold, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Threw the middleweight division into chaos till Izzy came and saved it.
Yeah.
So, looking at this one, looking at Shevchenko versus Grasso, you look at Shevchenko's history, and I know she had a couple of close fights coming up into the Grasso fight, and people were starting to say that her performances were starting to get a little dull, but she was still dominant.
Yeah.
She was still the same unstoppable force. And so I'm going into this rematch thinking to myself, yeah, Grasso had a great fight, but she capitalized on a mistake. It's not like Grasso was dominating the fight and then just found her moment.
Yeah.
She had her moments here and there, but I would say Valentina was winning the fight, and Grasso capitalized on a big mistake. Now, am I trying to say that Shevchenko was winning the fight by a large margin, that she was dominating on her side? No. I'm not trying to make that case at all. But going into this rematch, knowing how the bullet is, if she still has that competitive edge and fire in her heart, I'd be worried for Alexa Grasso. Especially, Shevchenko's looking at the fact that Amanda Nunes just retired. They just made Grasso the number one pound-for-pound women's fighter in the world. Shevchenko's got a chip on her shoulder, and I would not want to be in her way right now.
Yeah.
But you tell me, what do you think? How do you see this fight going?
Yeah, no, Shevchenko with a chip on her shoulder it's a mythical fighter for sure. Because, you had that performance where she fought, oh my gosh, what was her name? I can't remember, but it was one of the matches where she kind of got grappled for a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And then right after that, she fought Andrade, literally just like hip tossed Andrade through her in a crucifix and then beat the shit out of her. And so, I think a lot of people, are going to say, we've already been hearing it, Valentina is washed up a little bit. The fight with Tyler Santos was very competitive, a very close fight. A lot of people thought Tyler Santos won that fight, but, Shevchenko got the nod at the end of the day. I don't know. It just depends on, I think, one thing we've kind of said over the years is you can kind of, you have a good idea of maybe of how a fight will go just depending on the first round. It's hard to say, but there's been upsets and stuff, but I definitely think the first round will kind of tell a little bit about how this fight's going to go for sure. But I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it with Shevchenko on this one. I don't think it's going to be as a dominant win for Shevchenko. I think she might lose a round or two there, but I think Shevchenko maybe by decision if I had to make a pick or anything like that. But
if I had to take a pick here, I'm going to say Shevchenko by KO TKO.
KO or TKO? Yeah.
Yep. So let's go. I'm going to go back through Shevchenko's record here for a little bit. In March of this year, she lost to Alexa Grasso by submission in round 4. She had a split decision with Tyler Santos in 2022. She TKO'd Lauren Murphy and Jessica Andrade in 2021. She won a unanimous decision over Jennifer Maia in 2020, and she TKO'd Caitlin Chukagian in 2020. Beat Liz Carmouche in a unanimous decision, KO'd Jessica Ai, going all the bit. I mean, most of her win. I mean, let's see. 4 of her wins were KO TKOs. You know, going back to 2019, going 4 years back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Valentina with a chip gets a KO TKO over Alexa Grasso, and that's not a shot at Alexa Grasso. I love Alexa Grasso, and I think she's a fantastic fighter. And I think she has the potential to be a great champion. If she really steps it up with that boxing and can avoid the Muay Thai of Valentina Shevchenko, use her grappling, she might just do the same thing again. I mean, look at Brandon Moreno. Even going back into the rematches with Figgy, I was like, I don't know. And now I'm actually taking Moreno to beat Pantoja.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
Alexa Grasso, make me eat my words, but for now, I'm taking the bullet.
Yeah, so a lot of good fights announced. That'll be a good card. Free on ESPN, it sounds like. So,
Yes, sir.
definitely got to catch that one, guys. So, going on to bantamweight division, we have a big fight announced. Henry Cejudo is going to be taking on Chito Vera.
Not the matchup I wanted for either guy, but you know what? I'll take it. That's a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Vera will have to finish him to beat him, in my opinion. I don't think Vera can outpoint Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Cejudo's got too much experience. He's got too many high-level fights. He's just a student of the game, man, and he loves the game.
Yeah.
Where Chito is more, not saying that Chito, isn't a gamer, not saying that he doesn't study film or he's not, a true martial artist. I'm just saying it's a different level for Cejudo, in my opinion, and I don't know either guy personally, but that's just the way I see it. Chito Vera is going to be, he's going to be the tougher fighter. But we've talked about this before, and I was saying that, Cruz was actually getting the better of Vera as far as, the flow of the fight. Chito just knew where and when to catch him and hit that kick beautifully.
And that's the thing, if you look at Chito's most recent fights, I mean, that's where, he caught Frankie. He was up on the Frankie was up on the cards.
Yeah, he caught him with the front kick.
And then he found that front kick.
Even look at the Rob Font fight. Rob Font landed more significant strikes by 100. By a huge margin. Yeah. But you just looked at their faces, and it was pretty clear who won the fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, Chito, he likes to kind of lurk, settle into the fight, and really find his shots, try to find that knockout, that knockout shot. And I think on Cejudo, it's going to be a very, very tough task to find that because he's so defensively sound. His movement is, his footwork is really clean. His movement off the cage is really clean. I think
he's got this weird karate boxing stance that he uses, almost like a Conor McGregor, but it's so effective.
Yeah,
it's so effective, and I think Cejudo's going to have fun with that. I think he'll be able to take down Chito whenever he needs to.
I mean, we saw Chito struggle with some takedowns with Sandhagen.
Jose Aldo and Sandhagen.
Yeah, so I mean, I think if Sandhagen can take him down, I'm pretty sure Henry Cejudo will be able to. But Chito, always a dangerous fighter. I love Chito. I hate
I love
talking bad about
Chito.
talking bad about Chito.
It's just Perillo too.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying. This might not be the matchup we wanted for.
I wanted Peter Yan. I wanted Piotr Yan and Chito Vera. I was like, man, it's a great fight.
And then you want Cejudo and Merab.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Those are the ones that we were kind of clamoring for, but looks like won't get those fights. But
that's why we're not matchmakers.
Yeah, but it was a good fight for sure. I'm really excited for this one. I'm not too sure. It's taking place in Boston, right?
Yes, UFC 292. Cool. That card's getting juicy.
Shaping up. Yeah, they're really shaping that card up. Yeah. You got Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley headliner. Is the co-main then going to be Cejudo and Chito? 3 rounds, I think.
No, it's Weili.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's Weili and who was it? Who was she fighting at? Oh my gosh.
Amanda Lemos.
Sorry, Lemos. The disrespect from us.
Weidman, we were talking about him earlier.
Oh, yeah,
He's
Weidman
returning.
making a return against Brad Tavares. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, no, that card's shaping up. They're doing some good work on that one.
How about Jeff Neal and Ian Gary?
Oh, yeah. I think, did we talk about this one?
We have not talked about that one.
Man.
I know.
Ian Gary fans, close your ears.
No. No Love's going to be fighting Mario Batista.
Oh, yeah.
They're still not showing the Cejudo and Vera, but I know what they
it's pretty much done.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think both guys are they're in camp for it. So, yeah, that's going to be a good card. I'm excited for that one for sure.
Catch a video of us breaking that one down later.
Yeah, definitely, guys. So, let's see. So, I think we want to get into some news. This is kind of out of left field here on this one. So,
yeah, we got one little bit.
Yeah, so we saw a video today. My wife kind of showed it to me of Team Alpha Male had a jiu-jitsu robot.
I think it was just Uriah Faber.
Was it just Uriah Faber that brought it in? Yeah.
Yeah. It looks more like a dummy.
Yeah. But yeah, go on Uriah Faber's Instagram and check it out. He does some grappling with it. Supposedly this company, I was reading into it, they're making this robot that can have resistance and stuff like that to kind of help train with, a force resisting submissions and stuff like that. So, people kind of have a better idea of what it would feel like actually grappling instead of using one of those Fairtex dummies or something like that, or going against someone else.
Just grappling with somebody else.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I think some people, especially if you're getting closer to being prepared for a fight, I think that sometimes accidents happen. So maybe going to something like this might be more efficient for a fighter that wants to get a little bit of warm up or something like that. So maybe you'll see one of those backroom videos, when you're watching UFC and they show the guys warming up and it's just some dude from Team Alpha Male, warming up on this robot thing. But yeah, weird stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Only till they go all iRobot on us and just overrun us, right? Yeah. And then next thing you know, the fighter's over there in a full Nelson and the robot's just breaking his neck.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, weird stuff going on. But yeah, check that video out. But yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything else we want to cover? I think that was it.
No, I think we'll save it for the next one. We've got quite a bit coming up. We got International Fight Week coming up. We've got a lot of fights, a lot of big fights coming up in the summer. So catch us later for those ones. This is 10 Ounce Fight Club with James and Elia.
Yes, sir.
We're out.